We're starting off high.
So we can get a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
You had accountability. Now, what I can...
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where, give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
trust a human to raise a pack of wolves.
Before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree? As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
That's motherfucking me, G.
Happy New Year, fool.
Happy New Year. We on the way, ain't we?
We are on the way. We'll see how late the show goes.
Listen.
COVID ain't killed me yet. I'm still here. I'm still strong. I'm still standing.
I'm still standing.
I mean, I'm sitting right now, but
oh shit!
went for 3.5 mile walks the last 3 days. I think I'm good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I mean, triple vaccinated, still getting it. Of course, go ahead and do the "I told you so's," Cliff.
I don't have no "I told you so's," G. I just said what I said. Tell me what the reason is.
Right. No, I hear you.
If it's that easy to catch and you can be, vaccinated,
well,
what's the reason?
Here's the flip side. Yes, I caught it. My symptoms were super mild, dude.
Right.
I think I told you I got a head cold that I always get when the temperature does the shit that it did over the weekend, which is Ohio be throwing out temperatures like Powerball numbers. 22, 47, 63, 31, 25.
That's an interesting statement.
So, I wouldn't even have gotten tested had I not gotten a notification. So, what are you gonna do?
What can you do? Live your motherfucking life.
I'm with you, though. It would have been nice if they would have waited another week and, I could have taken the 10 days of leave or whatever.
Listen, you hear what I'm saying?
Although we've got unlimited PTO now, so whatever.
That, in quotations, that unlimited in quotations.
I'm sorry. Flexible time off, I believe, is the nomenclature we're using.
Listen, don't lie to me, motherfucker. I know what it is.
Oh, man. Yeah, I ended up having a meeting with the big boss man, yesterday. It lasted a grand total of 7 minutes. So, glad I was online for that.
Right.
What kind of updates you want? I mean, nobody's here. Nothing's changed in the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry.
That's how it is. That's how it is most places.
Right.
Motherfuckers ain't here.
Right. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
So, you got any inadvertents to get us going?
I don't know.
You don't know? Uh-oh.
I don't know.
It's about to be a real short trip. Chewy, punch it.
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind immediately.
All right. Well, let's talk about our VR adventures. We went on a couple of VR adventures. We killed some zombies. That was cool.
I'm good at that.
The aiming mechanics. I'm convinced it's the mechanics, not me. Although I did notice part of it, I think, is that the way the handles are shaped, like it's not quite like a gun, so like it doesn't translate perfectly.
Right.
And so when I started like thinking about that, it got a little better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's a little more slanted than the handle of a pistol.
Right.
So maybe that was it.
I think they got the gun things you can put on your handle.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of accessories and shit. We're not quite to the Oasis, which, by the way, I watched that last night.
What's that?
Ready Player One.
Oh, see, I was looking for that, but I didn't see it. You said that's on HBO Max?
It is, because I watched it yesterday.
Okay, I gotta watch that then. Because, yeah, I still haven't watched it.
I mean, I get it. Oh, look at
you. You said it's good?
You got a bottle of champagne ready to go?
You know?
Nice.
Got a little champagne.
Champagne. Yeah, no, it's a good movie. It's probably 2 years old now, but it holds up.
2 years old? Is it that recent?
It's either 2 or 3. It's not. I mean, it's relatively recent. It's in the last 2 or 3
Okay.
years.
I didn't know it was that new.
I mean, the second book just came out last year. So.
Oh, I didn't know they were books. I think we have this conversation all the time.
Speaking of books, shout out to my mom who got me the Witcher series of books.
Really?
And then included a note that I had to send them to her after I was done reading them.
I know that's right. Shit. Those are borrowed gifts.
Right.
The best ones. Where I get to use it.
But anyways, kind of circling back to the VR. Zombie game was fun. Star Trek, the game itself is buggy. Like, the actual experience is okay. I'm with you in terms of you got to have a good squad.
Right.
I'm not big on playing with random people, though. So that was like, I got to get, like, comfortable with that. Like, I just don't like it.
Or get your friends list up.
Right, no doubt. So, if you're out there listening to us and you have an Oculus, I believe I am. I think I'm the geeky coach on Oculus. I don't know. Or if we're Facebook friends, find me that way. But the Star Trek game is cool. I like it conceptually. It's a lot. Like, it's a lot to kind of manage. And I do think you're right. I do think you need like a full squad.
Yeah, you need a good person at every position.
Right. And I've got to remember, if I'm in that captain's chair, like, I've got to not just do it myself. I have to give the orders. Like, that's the thing with the captain's chair in that game, because you can pull up everybody's kind of individual actions and screens, and you can kind of manage things yourself. So I got to do a better job.
I didn't know you could do that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've never played it. I've only played it through the tutorial, and I didn't know that you could do that with the captain.
Yeah, and they don't explain it well. Like, the tutorial doesn't explain it well. I actually found it by accident. Like, you can bring up right in front of you kind of an overall set of commands, which is what I think they cover in the tutorial.
Right, where you hit like A or something and
But if you're in that screen and you shift like where you're looking to a specific station, you can give them direct orders.
Right.
And so, to your point, and then you can take over for them. Like,
AI. That's what I usually just do.
Yeah.
I usually just take over the position.
So that was a good time. So that was good. We had fun.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I just feel like we didn't get the full experience out of the Star Trek joint because we only had 2 of us.
It was 2 of us, and then
one person started and quit.
And then you had like audio issues, like where you couldn't hear. I could hear you, and it was
funny.
I
couldn't hear it.
You were like, power to the impulse or power to the warp, and I'm like, nah, I needed to the thrusters to go right there.
I didn't know.
That's why I
didn't know what you said.
You were like, raise your right hand for warp, your left hand for impulse, and I put them both up.
I did see that.
Looking like Rocky in the command chair.
I
like,
said, you know what? I can't do it. I got to try to join back up. And then I couldn't join up.
Yeah, I saw. I waited for you for a little bit, and then I was like, I've been
They
playing.
wouldn't let me join that.
I've been playing. Let's see. Yesterday I played Madden in honor of the big guy. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. You got to.
So I played probably half a season on that, and then I've been playing this game, Tales of Arise. It's kind of like an anime, like Japanese RPG. It's actually a pretty solid story, and like the mechanics are similar to like the latest Final Fantasy game. So it's got a good story, and you know me, the single player story games. That's usually where I end up, especially being in quarantine, and I have fucking unlimited time.
Right.
I've probably logged 30 hours in that game over the last 3 days.
Have you?
I'm not proud of it, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Shit. I mean,
and you know, I've got that split screen or whatever set up, right? So I'll have a movie on as background noise, and I'll be playing
and play the game. Oh, that's future. That motherfucker's already in 2022.
This is the shit my ex used to yell at me about. Like, I don't see how you can do that. I'm like,
yeah, you already operating in 2022. I wouldn't even think to do that.
I know how to multitask. What can I say?
I thought I had ADD.
It's not. Maybe it is ADD. I was gonna say it's not ADD, but maybe it is. I don't know.
That's ADD.
So did that. I don't think we talked about it last week, but because we didn't have a show last week. So Witcher dropped last week. You watched season 2?
Yeah, I watched that.
It was a much more like cohesive story this time.
Right.
Like there wasn't a lot of jumping around. There wasn't a lot of like time shifting. I felt like overall the season was just much more direct, and I liked it more because of that. What were your thoughts?
I was definitely a lot more into this season than I was the first season.
So did you ever end up finishing season 1, or did you just jump in on season 2?
I think I just jumped in on season 2 because I went to the last episode of season 1 and it said it was already played. So I took their word for it. I took their word for it and I went on to season 2. I don't know if I missed anything. I'm sure I did.
And I mean, the only thing you would have missed was that they thought Yennefer died, which they explain in like the first 10 seconds. Like, did you watch the recap for season 1?
Right. Where they found her in the field, right?
Right. Well, someone, I can't remember the bad guys. It begins with an N, like I can't remember. The Nilfgaard found them out there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
But again, I thought the story overall was much more straightforward, much more easy to follow, and they still delivered on the shit that they were good at delivering on. So it'll be curious to see.
I'm not too familiar with the game or the books enough to know what they deliver on.
So what's interesting is I haven't read the books yet. From like the game storyline, this season felt like it could have fit right in the middle of The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it either fits in there or it's just before The Witcher 2. Because Ciri is Cirilla is starting to come into her power or whatever. In The Witcher 3, she's got all of her powers. In The Witcher 2, I think she doesn't quite have them yet, but I don't remember. It's been a while.
This is the video game you're talking about.
That's the game. The books, I don't know. I haven't read them yet.
See, I don't know anything about the game. I don't even know if.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't even know if it would be a game that would keep my attention. Really,
honestly, the third one might. The second one is kind of overwhelming, and it's almost as disjointed as like that first season because it jumps around a lot.
Right.
But the third one's a little more linear. Or at least you can play it that way.
What about the first?
I don't even know if there is a Witcher 1. There probably is, but I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
And it's probably on an older console or available on PC or something.
Yeah, let me find out they started at the 2.
Right? that was their marketing tactic. Was,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're just gonna start it too and make people think that they missed out on something good
Right.
this time around.
That you got experience making games like this.
I mean, it's
Like, what
possible.
happened to the first one?
Right. It's on the shelf somewhere. It never sold the one copy.
Yeah, they just skipped it. They said, let's fuck this one. Let's go straight to 2.
Pretty much.
How do you feel about that Lost in Space?
You know, here's the deal. The first 4 episodes gripped me. I liked it. I fell asleep during episode 5.
I don't remember specific episodes that far back.
But it did the thing that I'm sure you are familiar with, which is it didn't stop playing until like 3 episodes later. Right. And so I haven't gone back and rewatched it yet.
Uh-huh.
Now, I probably will. That might be what I'd end up watching tomorrow, or at least having on in the background while playing something else. But
that makes me stop watching shit.
Right? Like, I fell asleep. It must not have been that good.
And then just the going back and rewinding and fast forward and trying to find the spot.
Like you fell asleep. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, and that was the thing with that in particular. Like, at least Netflix will stop it after 3 episodes and do the whole, are you still watching? Fucking HBO Max, man. HBO Max, that shit,
all them.
It will go through like 6 seasons worth. Like, I tried to rewatch Game of Thrones like during that month where we said we were getting divorced, but I was waiting for her mom to move out. And I woke up and it was like I had gone from like season 2 to season 6, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going back.
Goddamn, how long would you sleep? 3 days?
Well, the thing is the Fire Stick in particular. Like, even if the screen gets turned off, the Fire Stick still runs unless you specifically turn off the Fire Stick. Which is the problem I have with the TV downstairs. It's the same damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
That makes sense. I'm about to say, you go through seasons on Game of Thrones, motherfucker. You was in a coma.
Right. No doubt.
The fuck?
No doubt. Well, really, it was, I mean, obviously it was one night to the next. Like, it was a 24-hour, it just ran.
Right. Turn your TV back on and
it's in the middle of some shit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then completely, like, being oblivious to, like, I don't remember when I fell asleep. I just going back, like, half a dozen episodes, be like, hey, let's restart here.
Right. You've seen them already?
Right. Well, especially if it's something you've seen already.
Excuse me, shit. That motherfucking Panya.
It will get you.
Man.
All right, man. So 2021.
2021.
Started off a little crazy.
I don't know. I had somebody say to me the other day that at least 2021 was better than 2020. And I said, I don't know that it was. I think it was just faster.
I agree with that.
I think we were just used to the bullshit, so it kind of sped by quicker. 2020 was a year full of shocks and upsets.
Right, and it was new, and it was like,
Right, and in 2021, I feel like the shocks and upsets weren't so shocking or upsetting because we had already been through 20.
I mean,
we kind of had an idea how this was going to play out.
I agree with that in some regard. Starting off the year with the riot at the Capitol.
Oh, was that this year?
Yeah, it was January 6th of this year. Because it was the 2020 election into the 2021 presidency.
I thought this was going to be an exciting year.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to top, trying to overthrow our government.
That's a good, exciting jump off. Didn't keep
up the momentum, no.
Right. You started out strong. You just kind of dwindled off.
And then the world's #1 Buffalo Bills fan, the shaman of the QAnon.
Right. Why is that your outfit?
I mean, I don't know, but it sucks that he looks like a Bills fan and all that get up.
Oh, he was a Bills fan.
You think that was
he
the
was
reason?
the Bills fan.
That's why he was putting stuff through the table, man.
He was the Bills fan.
He's like, fuck Pelosi's desk, and he powerbombed somebody through the table. Bills Mafia for life, bitches.
That is just.
Get the table.
That's a mind-boggling series of events.
You know what would have blown your mind more if the Bills won the Super Bowl that year?
If what?
If the Bills had gone on to win the Super Bowl after all that shit.
Listen, then I'd have called conspiracy. I'd have said, them motherfuckers was in on it.
Ralph Wilson is coming in from beyond the grave
Listen.
to orchestrate the Capitol riot to put the Bills at the front.
I don't know what
I don't know how that all works
would
out.
be.
There's some math to work out there. But.
Conspiracy. That motherfucker wasn't dressed like a Raiders fan, I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I feel like there were some dudes with shoulder pads with spikes on them.
I don't know. And I feel like they were more Ultimate Warriors than Raiders fan.
Road Warriors, but close.
Road Warriors, that's what they were.
Legion of Doom.
Right, the Road Warriors.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, current events wise, I mean, COVID didn't go away. Shocker.
COVID's still here.
Still
It's
here.
gonna be here.
It's just part of life now.
Might as well let that motherfucker sign a lease.
Right?
Because that motherfucker's here to stay. Get used to it. And that's the crazy thing. You can't get used to it, right? Because they dropping a new edition every week.
Remix.
Well, listen, that motherfucker, that's the P. Diddy of viruses right there, bro.
Reinvents itself every 6
Man.
months.
Goodness
Diddy.
gracious. That's the P. Diddy of viruses, ain't it?
Right?
So, I don't know how many jabs it's going to take.
Yeah. I don't
Motherfuckers
know.
will be getting jabbed for the rest of their life. Now, you think everybody was questioning if that first vaccine changed your DNA makeup? They jab you 12 times a year to get rid of all these different variants, and I guarantee y'all motherfuckers come out crazy. I guarantee that.
I mean, I think that's fair. That's fair.
I guarantee that because it's never going to stop.
No.
It's never going to stop. It's not going to stop until people say, nah, hold up now.
The COVID shot at this point is like the flu shot. Like, you're either going to get it or you're not, and you may or may not get sick either way. So, fuck it.
I mean, that's my whole thing, you know. I've said it before. I just don't like operating in absolutes when the only absolute we know is that we absolutely don't know anything.
Right. I think it's fair. I mean, I've
So-
given up arguing with you on it at this point.
You know? Just make it make sense to me. Like I told Blue, I was talking to Blue the other day. It's not like I'm an anti-vaxxer by any means. It just doesn't make sense. If it starts to make sense, I'll be in line. But
Right.
until that day comes, there's no point on me. I'll bet on my own immune system before I ever think the government has my best interest at heart.
No, I mean, it's a fair statement. Shout out to Malk out in the chat. Shout out to Mom.
Oh, is he out
in the
there?
chat.
My REITs.
The
Yeah, they
Reeds.
won't even let me take, like I said, they won't even let me take a flu shot because of allergies. But you want me to take this vaccine?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's also part of the reason why there's a big questionnaire before you take it in terms of allergens and those kind of things. But
And that's all shit that I don't know, right?
right,
Like it's a toss up for anybody. And nobody's going to come in there and read that questionnaire and be like, yeah, I'm allergic to XO 5902. We don't even know, like
What
you're
the fuck
changing
that
the
is.
names of the shit that you put in here anyway, right?
Right.
Eggs doesn't end up being eggs on the vaccine. It ends up being some crazy shit because it's not eggs that you eat. It's eggs, the protein that, come on, man.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to know what I'm allergic to?
I mean,
No, we really rolling dice. You put it in me and we rolling dice to see what happens. And if I know that I'm so-called allergic to the flu shot, then I damn sure don't know what to answer on that questionnaire for the COVID joint.
No, I hear you on that. Yeah, and I mean, at this point, like, you're either gonna get it or you're not. You're either gonna get sick or you're not, and move on.
I mean, I expect to get it if I haven't had it already,
right?
Or don't have it, you know.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, again, had I not gotten the text from the person who gave it to me, I wouldn't have gotten tested.
And like
I thought it was the same shit that I get anytime.
Right. And that's what I was about to say. Like we've said, I've come in direct contact with multiple people, and I have felt off, but I've never felt sick.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that wasn't what that was. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I'm with Aaron Rodgers. I'm fully immunized.
Well, that's all I can say for sure is that I have super immunity now.
Listen,
I am good for at least 12 months for this variant.
Or until they release another so-called non-mandatory shot.
So we've done what? Delta, Omicron, what's up next? Foxtrot, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Omega.
Go down the military alphabet.
Coronavirus.
And then after that,
variant.
after we finish the military joint, they're gonna go start hitting the Greek alphabet up.
Alpha, beta, gamma.
And listen, it's going. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
So shit. Other than COVID, because that's gonna be in 2021 too. What else happened in 21 that was interesting?
I mean, from a world events perspective, I don't know.
What about the government releasing the files about the unidentified? That's interesting.
That's
well,
true.
that it should have been interesting, right? But because that's why I said everything. Okay, it's fireworks. I didn't know what the fuck. I was about to say, let me do the rest of this podcast from the floor.
Well, this is.
Already? It's 9:40.
This is the second favorite holiday in the hood, so.
I think that's why they get fireworks, so you can disguise the gunshots.
Right.
You know?
It is the time for my favorite game of the year, gunshots or fireworks. So
you know?
You only get to play it really twice a year, although recently that July 4th has gone on for like 3 weeks, so.
Oh, listen, my neighborhood has fireworks for days, baby. They don't stop. They gonna be shooting them bitches off till August. Our 4th of July last.
But yeah, circling back to the UFOs, nothing really came of that. I think we talked about it more than any news source did. So
right.
Area 51's real. The aliens are here. They are listening. Maybe not to this show, but they are listening and watching us destroy ourselves.
I think so. I think, and this is gonna sound real right wing of me, right?
All right, let's hear it.
But I think we are going to come to a point in time where all of us as Americans learn to appreciate Trump's honesty.
Fair.
Because once again, he was not meant to be in that position, right? So he didn't handle it the way any other president would have.
That's very true. Very true. But
and he said it. Aliens are real and, you know, all that bullshit. I'm pretty sure he's seen something that would make him say that.
I mean, here's the deal. COVID is actually a test to see if the aliens are ready to live among us or if we're ready for the aliens to live among us.
Now, go further.
So, COVID is designed off of the alien DNA. If it doesn't kill you, it means you can interact with the aliens and you'll be all right. If it does kill you, the aliens are like, they're not ready yet.
Well, wait a minute. Is COVID like alien HIV then? Like,
no, I don't think it's that. It's like it's
so what they just
COVID,
give off a COVID pheromone? Or you have to fuck the alien to get the... Like, what's going on?
No comments on how COVID is transmitted, especially not in my case.
From the alien species. I knew that, and that's what's funny is I knew. I just knew.
I will...
Allegedly. The lawyer lady up there in the booth is telling me to say allegedly.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Fuck you and that lawyer.
Oh, shit. No. So it's like it is introducing a common disease for them to the population.
Oh, but even still, I guess that's where my mind goes. Well, how would we get it from them if we wasn't fucking them?
Just like we gave the Native Americans smallpox.
Oh, you mean like so aliens cough too?
Yeah.
And they omit the COVID virus. So
right.
if we can handle it, we're good.
Or it's a situation where to them it's not a virus. To your point, maybe pheromones, maybe something along that line. And it is a test so that they don't immediately just wipe us out inadvertently.
Listen, you said it, motherfucker. Smallpox. Are they being tested right now for us? We the concern. You're the all-knowing being, the species. You should have been dropped that pill down this motherfucker and had us taking it if that was the case.
But we wouldn't accept it if it came from aliens. They thought maybe we'd accept it from world governments.
Listen, that don't mean that we accept that motherfuckers living side by side us.
That's true.
It's a lot of people that won't accept that. Nigga, if you can't accept black folks after thousands of years, how in the fuck are you going to accept a green, gray alien?
Right. Well, it would
like
it would bring you, I mean, every science fiction has taught me that when the aliens show up, humanity will band together.
But see, I would be on some, fuck y'all, I'm with the aliens. Y'all bitches had years to prove, and then now is when it's like, yeah, sure, come fuck you, I don't want to come on over no more. So I'm catching COVID. I'm fucking the aliens. Long story short.
I like how it immediately went to I'm fucking an alien.
I guess. I mean, how else do you catch COVID?
I don't know
how else do you catch COVID in real life. COVID is sexually transmitted.
That's why there was all that mask porn back in the day. Damn it. I wish I would have listened.
Trying to tell you. I told y'all cutting the holes wasn't a good idea, but you didn't want to listen. Here we are.
Oh, shit. What are you going to do?
Okay, so aliens are here and they're fucking and passing COVID.
All right.
So what else happened in
2021? Let's see. Tom Brady won another fucking Super Bowl. God damn it.
That was 2021.
Should have been.
That was 2021. I don't know why. I always associate the Super Bowl or finals with the year of before, the season.
Right.
So it was the 2020 season, so I associate it with the 2020 game, even though it ended in 2021.
Right. Like the
that
Bills
throws
are going to win
off.
the 2022 Super Bowl.
Well, right, the 21-22. See, they just now started putting the hash in it.
Yeah, like they do with a school year.
Right, before it was just the year, and I think that's what was throwing everybody off, because it does still throw me off. But yeah, it will be the 21-22 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That they will win. But once again, I'm stuck on 21.
So,
because even when you said that, the 2022 Super Bowl, my mind immediately was like, wait, no, it won't. It's the 21-22. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I got you. I mean, outside of that, like, did anything else happen significantly from a world event?
You was the motherfucker with the Bills face paint at the Capitol. That was you. You just shaved your head and your beard, and look at you now.
Coincidence, isn't it?
This motherfucker rushed the Capitol.
Shit. That might have that might have made 21 go better for me. So
Nah, because I don't know if you know how to do dirt. They probably would have identified Joe ass. It was like, it was him. I know where he works. I know his address. I know where his kid goes to school.
It's the real reason I got the tattoo. Did he have any identifying marks? No. Well, that guy's got tattoos.
Right. Well, hey there. Now you can listen. Be a little closer to the conspiracy now. Did he have a tattoo? It was it Celtic is the question.
Good nature.
Oh shit. You can find 25 white folks with buffalo face paint and Celtic tattoo.
Right now, actually.
Right, as we speak.
Now, most of them are in Buffalo, but
right.
That's how I really throw them off the scent, is by living in Columbus.
Right. You know? That's funny. But you gotta what did they call it in that TV show? Where he was married to the Soviet spy and he didn't know it. What TV show was that? You know what I'm talking about. It was the one that had the sickle and the
No, you're thinking of the Americans, but they both knew they were both spies.
Is that that is what I'm thinking of too, isn't it?
Yeah, they were both spies. That was actually probably one of the few shows that had a really strong ending. I'd throw that in the ended the series well category.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never really watched it at all.
I think I actually watched that this year. It was either this year or 2020. To your point,
For
it
real?
all kind of blends together.
How many seasons do they have?
I think it's 6.
6? Oh, that's a lot.
And it is. I mean, it is a lot. That's why I think we watched it during quarantine.
That's a lot to commit to.
It is.
But I bet spy sex is better than any sex.
I mean,
I don't know if I would say any sex.
Based on the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I would tend to agree with you, but that may have just been because it was Brad Pitt and Angelina.
Yeah, they just did a good job of portraying the allure of, wild sex. But I'm just thinking from a what's it called standpoint.
What do you mean?
Like,
just from the fear of getting caught,
like a treasonous, right? Yeah. Like
I hear you on that.
That's like a serious role play. Like you got to be committed to your characters.
Yes, you do. That's a 10-year D&D campaign right there.
Listen, ain't longer than that. And I don't know if any Elven clan would match Soviet spy organization.
God, what am I watching? I'm trying to think. What was I just watching that was all about that?
What were you just watching? That was what, about like spies or spies fucking?
Spies.
That was Pornhub, I was about to say.
I mean, you might be right.
Either on Pornhub or HBO Max.
Now you got me. Now I'm gonna have to go back and figure out what the fuck did I watch over the last 2 days. I don't know. There's been a fair amount of that. Oh, that's what I was watching. I was watching Molly's Game. I had that on in the background while I was cleaning today.
I've heard that, but I don't know what it is.
Molly's Game is
that fucking
woman that was running the high stakes poker game, and she basically got found out that she got raided by the FBI.
Right. Okay. That was a true story.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just didn't know that was what that was called, huh?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Michael Cera plays Tobey Maguire in that, but he goes by Player X. But Player X is Tobey Maguire.
Oh, really? He was involved?
Yep.
Ooh, Toby.
Right.
That's why he didn't like the paparazzis.
Pretty much. No, speaking of Tobey Maguire, though, I did see the new Spider-Man movie.
I'm glad you brought that up, but I have not.
All right.
And it wasn't the Spider-Man movie that I was saying. I'm glad you brought up. But what about it did you like? Because I heard a lot of good things from a lot of different people.
I mean, it's
like different kinds of people. You know what I mean? That's what lets me know if it's something worth seeing. Is if like my green friends say it's good, and then my roughneck friends say it's good, and then everybody says. Then it's like, okay, so everybody must be able to relate a bit. Let me go see it.
Not everybody can be wrong.
Right.
I had mixed feelings on it. Like, I thought it was good. I thought it was kind of it was a fair amount of just nostalgia porn, to be frank, because the whole concept,
in Spider-Man,
the whole concept is that they basically brought back villains, and spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it and hasn't heard. 3, 2, 1. They brought back all the other Spider-Men. So they brought back Tobey Maguire. They brought back Andrew Garfield. They were all on screen together.
were they all fighting together?
Yeah. The final the final sequence is them fighting like all of the villains from their respective universes that have been brought in. So
see,
cool.
I'm not a Spider-Man fan. I think that's like he's what on paper I feel the opposite, but I feel like he's one of the weaker superheroes of the Marvel universe. You know what I mean? Not like of course he's strong and he can do shit, but just his character is like goofy and weak to me. I don't. And in the MCU, at least to date, he's been like Iron Man Jr. What I will say this movie does is actually almost reboot him. So Spider-Man? Reboot Spider-Man?
It reboots the Tom Holland Spider-Man, the one from the MCU. Because basically...
So wait, are they replacing him?
No, but it's basically... All right, heavy spoiler territory. If you haven't seen it yet, come back in 3 minutes.
But they bring in the urban kid, the Miles Morales kid out.
They haven't brought Miles Morales in yet, although I do think that there's tendrils to that eventually. But
I heard they were thinking about the dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I heard they were thinking about the dude from Blackish.
It's possible. I mean, his uncle like pops up in the MCU. So like, and I think
whose uncle?
Is it Miles Morales?
Oh, Miles Morales is okay. I see what you're saying.
So he's in like the first Spider-Man movie.
The dude that owned the bodega or whatever.
Yeah.
See, I don't know how I knew that, and I ain't even watched it.
So they have the ability to bring him in, but this movie ends with. So they show in the trailer that all of this is created by a spell that Doctor Strange kind of fucks up.
Right.
He fucks it up because of Peter Parker, because of Tom Holland. And at the end, he basically recasts the spell.
Wasn't that in the movie, though?
Yep. But
he was trying to find Mary Jane or trying to make sure Mary Jane didn't know he was Spider-Man or something like that. And he said that would fuck everything up.
He was trying. So the initial spell that it's about is he is trying to make the world forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, because the second Spider-Man movie
there it is.
ends with Mysterio saying, and Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Right, there it is. That's what it was.
What fucks the spell up is
I gotta watch movies.
He tries to say, well, don't let Mary Jane forget. Don't let his friend Ned forget. Don't let the Avengers forget. And that's what fucks everything up. And so at the end, he recasts the spell and nobody remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And so what they've done is essentially reset Spider-Man in the MCU. Like, no one knows who he is anymore. Now, what I think they're
replacing him.
No, I actually don't think they are. What I think they're trying to do is to bring Spider-Man into the Venom, the Morbius. I think they're actually trying to take him out of the MCU to some extent and have him have his own shit with the shit that they're doing on the villain side with Venom, with Carnage, with Morbius, which is coming up, like with Kraven. Like Spider-Man,
I don't know who any of those are other than Venom and Carnage.
Yeah, but Spider-Man at the end of the day probably has some of the better villains in the Marvel side of things. but they don't lend themselves well to the Avengers. So you almost have to pull Spider-Man out of the Avengers so he can have these more singular stories away from the Avengers.
But why can't he be in the Marvel universe and have his singular stories on the side?
I mean, he can. What becomes the question then is, then why don't the Avengers show up to help him?
Because this is Spider-Man's
I hear you, but I just think that that's what they're setting up. I think they're setting up to have him have his own shit with the characters, with the villains from his side of things.
And then what is that? Essentially, that becomes a prequel. Everything's a prequel to the MCU.
No, I think it happens like post blip. What I think is going to happen with the MCU is the MCU is going to go more mystical and cosmic. That's Eternals. That's Doctor Strange. That's how WandaVision ended. Like it's getting more into like the mystic side and the cosmic side. Like
that's what's crazy is they never really had me, and that'll just take it even further away from my interest.
No, I'm with you. Like I didn't really watch. I mean, I watched Shang-Chi, but I didn't make it through it. Haven't seen Eternals. I'll probably watch it when it pops up on Disney Plus. I don't really have an interest in like what the MCU is throwing out right now, except for I guess the TV shows. Like Loki was good. The WandaVision was good. Falcon and Winter Soldier was good, but
I think I've only seen Marvel movies. I think I've only seen 2 or 3 from front to back.
Yeah.
No, that would have to be 5 because I watched Iron Man 1 and 2.
Okay.
That's what kind of brought me back into, the superhero shit because I kind of dug Iron Man. I like Robert Downey Jr.
Bingo. Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark is.
I just like Robert Downey Jr. in general. So
yeah, and it was perfectly cast. And honestly, that's going to be the trouble the MCU has is that the MCU was completely centered around Iron Man and Robert Downey. Like, there's a reason why Iron Man is the first movie in the first phase of Marvel, and Endgame is really the last movie in phase 4 of Marvel. Like, that's Tony Stark's arc.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm curious to see what they do because Disney, at the end of the day, in my mind, Disney hasn't done much wrong with the franchises they own. I'm not sold yet on whatever the next iteration of the MCU is, but we'll see.
I mean, I don't know. I probably won't be around.
You won't be around?
Not like, I mean, I won't be watching to be around to talk about it.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I have no intrigue there. Like, even if they were to make the little dude from Blackish Spider-Man, it's still Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I don't like Spider-Man. I don't care if you make him black or Hispanic. He's still Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's still that character, and I don't like it.
Well,
I think it's because it's so it's so youthful, like it's a child. Spider-Man has always been portrayed as a kid, and that's what kind of rubs me wrong. Like, if you have those powers and you're fighting those people, you got to be able to make adult decisions.
Right.
I'm not about to just web you. I'm about to snap your neck. G, you're not coming back in the next film.
Yeah. Well,
and I don't think Spider-Man's ever had that kind of attitude.
It's funny that you bring that up, though, because that is an arc for Tom Holland in this movie. The current MCU Spider-Man.
I like him.
So basically,
Iron Man Spider-Man.
Yep. And so basically, what happens in this one, he does go through an arc where, like, he gives in to rage. I'm just gonna put it like that. And so that's actually why it's important that the other 2 Spider-Men are there, because they kind of break him of it. Because he's about to basically do something that he can't come back from. He's about to break the OG Batman code of you don't kill people.
Who the fuck is Batman?
Oh,
Who the
trust
fuck
me.
is Batman?
Oh, trust me. This new Batman movie, I think he's gonna kill plenty of people. So
Listen, that's my whole thing. It's like, who are you? I'm a superhero. I don't have to abide by your creed.
You know what my superpower is? I'm rich.
That's right. And then you're not even a superhero.
Right.
You're just a rich guy with technology.
With toys.
The fuck? I'm not listening to you. I'm fighting real crime here. You're handling Gotham. I'm going to kill.
Oh, man.
Because otherwise, they'll be back in the sequel.
Right. You're not wrong. Well, and the other one that I watched over the week was I did watch the new Matrix movie.
That's what I was saying when I said I'm glad you brought that Spider-Man joint up. Because I did watch that Matrix, and that was a pleasant surprise to me.
You know, I'm actually with you, and like it has gotten a lot of hate, and I don't understand why.
Because I think
like it was almost a little too meta, maybe. But
I think that we're in. I think we're in the idiocracy stage, and I've said that before. But I do think that that's where we're at, and I think that's the reason why I like the Matrix movie so much is because it was connecting dots. It was like, oh, that's how they were explaining this in the other. Like they were answering questions that we didn't know we had, like subconscious questions throughout the movie that a lot of people I feel like didn't pick up on because of that idiocracy. They're just wanting the action, but you're not thinking about what they're telling you. They're connecting here.
Right.
And when you were open to all that, it made a lot more sense, and I thought it was more entertaining than what you thought it was.
Well, and I thought, I will admit that it took me out of it a little early on when they transitioned from introducing kind of the new crew to like Keanu's life as a game designer.
Right.
But the more I like rewatching it and watching it again, like, no, that makes perfect sense because just because you made the choice one time to basically walk away from the simulation doesn't mean you're always going to make that choice.
Right.
And like him, like literally, you know, downing all the blue pills, like he's choosing to stay in the simulation because it's less painful than real life.
Right.
And I think that we will get to that point. I mean, really, that's the same kind of question with Ready Player One and the Oasis.
You know what was wild though?
What's that?
Is that I feel like this was the wrong. But you know what? I think that's the government too. That's another thing, man. I hate to get all conspiracy on it.
No, you don't.
I do. I really do. Because I feel like it has to be the pills. It has to be all the prescriptions, the vaccines, the things that you put into us that dull our senses to make us that idiocracy society. You know what I mean? Because there was a point where people read into things.
Yeah.
And I don't think that just because you provide people with a phone in hand makes people not want to learn more on their own.
Right. Well, I mean, the original promise of things like the internet and computing power and those kind of things was that it was supposed to unlock the potential. We just squander it continuously.
and that's what I
with shit like TikTok, which by the way I've finally downloaded. So
did you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it.
TikTok.
Malcolm tried to send me a link on there and try to tell me this is you. I said, you're gay for even having the app. I don't even have it, so I can't see who I am. You're gay.
TikTok is the white folk version of WorldStar. Let's just be clear.
Listen, if TikTok is the white folk version of WorldStar,
or is WorldStar the black version of YouTube? I don't know.
No. You know what the white folk version of WorldStar is Fox News.
Okay.
TikTok is, see, that's what I'm saying. Black folks don't operate off of the stats. And that's what World Star is. World Star just gives you a story and a title, and you gather what you
figure
got
it out
from
for yourself what it means.
And that's Fox News for a lot of white folks. You just give them a story, but they kind of try to lean you into what they want.
Whereas World Star, I do feel like generally speaking, actually, I don't want to say this. Like, it seems to stay a little more neutral, but it's still World Star.
It does somewhat. It does somewhat. I know exactly what you're saying.
So.
Yeah, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's it can't be CNN.
No. Well, that's a huge liberal slant too.
That's the thing. See, that's the thing. I guess that kind of sums it up into a nutshell, right? Black folks that just tell you a story and they won't tell you
what you're supposed to think. Yeah.
Right. It's just the story and you gather yourself your own opinions, whereas we need you on our track, on our team.
Yeah.
Which is why I think the cancel culture shit is just so crazy, right? Because you can't get mad at someone for feeling a way.
No.
That's the way they feel.
Right.
That's fine. It may be wrong in your mind, heart, whatever, but that's the way they feel. You can't get mad at them. The only people that you can get mad at are the people in your isolated bubble,
right,
that operate with you, because they operate with you. So when they stand against you, of course, I'm going to get angry.
Yeah.
But people outside of your bubble, that has no concern.
Has no impact on you.
Right. It doesn't matter to you at all. This is just an experience that you're going to have at a coffee shop. But once you leave here, you don't have to hear his mouth anymore.
Right. No, I hear you on that, and I don't disagree.
So I don't understand why it's like, get rid of him. Why? What'd he do? What'd he do?
Right.
I don't care what he said. Big lip monkey, all that. But for what? That's the way he felt at that time. Right? Who cares? Unless he's schooling our young. Is he a teacher? Is he somebody in power? Then let him feel that way. What is it to you? What is he stopping you from?
What is he keeping you from doing?
No. Right. Like that. You're just mad that he feels that way and you can't be.
Right. And
because if we opened up our hearts and minds to where everybody could read them, there'd be a lot for a lot of people to be mad at.
No doubt. No doubt. I had some morbid thoughts myself this week.
Listen, and we do. That's natural. We're humans. It's natural. But the fact that you can try to dead somebody because they show themselves at their lowest,
right? Well,
doesn't
that's usually
quite make sense to me.
And that's my usual thing, is that I try not to judge people on their highest highs or their lowest lows. And it's funny. I got into a conversation with somebody this week about, what are you really looking for? And it's like, somebody that can be with you through the highs is one thing. Someone who can be with you through the lows is one thing. Most of life is in the middle. And so do they raise that middle for you or not?
No, that's a good way to put it. That's a great way to put it. Do they raise that middle bar? That's a great way to put it.
Because
my whole thing,
like, it's easy to live through the highs. It's hard to live through the lows, but the lows are usually short in one way or another. Most of life is spent in the middle. And so does that person
pending, because let's be honest, some people's...
But that's the whole thing. Just because someone's highs are your lows and someone's middle is your high, we're not, again, coming back to your point that you just made, it's who raises your middle.
Right. Now,
because everybody's middles, highs, and lows are different. Like my lowest low, and I've talked about this on the show. I did the whole AA thing for a little while. My lowest low was nowhere near the lowest low of the people that I was in that room with. Now, hearing their stories, like I could see, the possibility of falling into something like that. But I was nowhere near that level. People losing jobs, people losing XYZ. Like, no, No, I have a great career. I have a great relationship with my son. Shit happens. People grow apart. Like, at the end of the day, all of that really came down to was not with somebody that could ride the middle with me.
Right. No, you're right. Well, I guess you're absolutely right. And you're in your situation,
Right.
of course,
Right,
you
right,
know
right.
what I mean? But
And similarly,
I don't even look at it from raising my middle.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think that's what the whole self-love conversation is about. Nobody else should have to raise your middle. You should be able to raise your own middle. My biggest concern is that you're not going to leave when we trudge through those lows for longer than expected.
Right. No, and I think that's fair. And I will backtrack a little bit in terms of not necessarily raise your middle, but can ride.
But that's an interesting way to put it. The way you put it, I understood completely, and I don't see it as wrong.
Yeah.
I just see it as what do they call it? Like I don't know what the word is, like the therapy word they use, but it's like a false rung.
Yeah.
Like a false rung on a ladder. Like you can't, like when you're expecting someone to raise your middle and you reach for that rung and it's not there, that causes you to fall all the way back down. That's why I feel like it's a self-love thing. You got to be your own.
And I agree with that. And I think I will throw in a Star Wars quote here because that's what I do. What I said was true from a certain point of view.
You need the soundbite.
I'm not as good with my Obi-Wan. My Barack's much better.
You need a soundbite. You tried it though.
You know.
I ain't mad at
Hello there. That one's more the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan than the Alec Guinness.
Look, now you know you're speaking a whole nother language to me. All right. I don't know if you're ready to rush the Capitol or what. All right.
I thought I put those away.
All right. Now you got them hanging up in your.
There's a closet right here.
Right, with your piece of the Oval Office desk.
Oh shit.
Nah, but where we get, I feel like we only got to around April, May.
I mean, I'm trying. Well, I had a lot of shit going on and about June and onward, so those are the things I remember from a world events perspective. I mean, we got sports back.
Yeah, I feel like sports is taking over a lot, right?
Well, for you especially. I mean, you launched the Hit Showers podcast earlier this year. You've pretty much kept up with 2 episodes a week. I can't really remember if you missed one, but
yeah,
overall,
I haven't missed a week, but I've missed
like a single episode here and there.
Right.
And I mean, the other side of that is we shut down our show for most of the high school season this year. So
right.
And
I guess that's a good point, right? Sports is taking up a lot of my life through the past year. Not that it doesn't through my life. Like I watch and I'm interested in sports in general, but now that you cover it on a weekly basis, you start to get into it more. Like
if it had been in the background previously, now it's kind of on the main screen. Kind of.
Right. There it is. That's a good way to put it.
No, and I mean, honestly, like, even though I'm not on as much as, I'm hoping to be sometimes, like, I follow the NFL now, and I haven't followed the NFL really for years.
You and me both, G. I was big on college. So there was an era, because we covered it on the podcast, and not to get into it, but there was an era where I stopped watching Ohio State football, which was probably from like 2017 to 2019.
Yep. The Urban Meyer years, man. I stopped watching them too.
I wasn't intrigued. I wasn't intrigued by Ohio State football in those years. Those I did come back to NFL a bit,
Yeah.
but I still wasn't all in. Like now I'm all in. Like I'm checking stats. I'm checking, backups, who's going to be out, who's on the IR, all that shit.
You've gone into
that was never really the case before, except for when I was a child. When I was a child, I was that way. Back when Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders and all them was playing, I'd check to see who was going to be in this next game.
Right. Well, and like for me, I still kind of fell into like I watch college up until my high school season is done. Because what happens is like I get a little burned out during that point, and that ends up being like the very core middle of the NFL season, but it's the tail end of the college season, and so I'm like, fuck it.
Right.
But
I'm sorry for the audio listeners right now.
but
I just don't want to show this, and it's time to ramp up. We getting closer to the new year, so I gotta add some.
There you go. add a little something. I, on the other hand, am going with the easy staple of the Brewdog.
You definitely better after you talked about your AA meetings, motherfucker.
Still rocking the AF collection. Brewdog had their 12 NAs of Christmas. I'm working my way through the pack.
I'm not that guy.
No, I mean, I get it.
I'm not that guy, but I definitely am not the guy that's going to stop being myself.
No, yeah.
I'm not the friend you want if you have problems, which we won't get into that, which lets me know you never really have any problems. No
shit. No, and
I understand the pump of the brakes is what I'm saying.
Right. Well, and the flip side of that too is, and this has been a public thing, like, and I made it that way. So the flip side of that is that if I got through the last 3 months without it, probably didn't have a problem. But still okay to pump the brakes, still okay to read
it is.
Shit.
It is.
And honestly, the Brewdog NA collection has been a great part of it.
Listen, I pump the brakes. You just won't see me in the NA collection.
Right.
All right. I'll slow down, but I'm not about to just drink non-alcohol. I might as well drink water.
Trust me, I drink a lot of that too.
That's really all I drink is water and alcohol on the days that I do the podcast.
Yeah. Well,
unless I'm feeling spicy, then I might drink on an off day. I consider any day where I don't podcast an off day for drinking.
I got you.
Some days I'll feel like, let me get a couple beers today.
Yeah. Well,
and you know what, to tell the truth, since we're truth telling, now that this neck injury, I've drank a little bit more because it helps me get to sleep.
No, and I get that. I get using it as a sleeping aid. So I
feel like I'm more comfortable drinking a couple beers and going to sleep than taking like the muscle relaxers that they prescribe me.
No, I get that.
To go to sleep, because I feel like they don't work well anyway, and then I'm just taking them and they're not working well. Like,
why are you?
I'm just fucking my kidneys up,
right,
for nothing. And don't get me wrong, the alcohol fucks your kidneys up too, but at least I'm having fun while I'm fucking my kidneys up.
Right, you're getting something out of it.
Right.
No, I get it. And again, like, pretty much, I mean, I'll have the NA collection like when we're on the show, but that's pretty much it. I mean, if I've got somebody over and like they want or they're gonna have a beer, I like having it around so I can still have a beer with somebody.
You get used to the taste.
Yeah. So, anyways, circling back. So, 2021, in terms of our show, any standout moments?
Standout moments in 2021.
For the Do Fools Agree podcast.
I think the Vicky Vincent episode was a good one.
I thought that would be your favorite one.
I think that was a good one. And that's not even shade. I just think that was an interesting episode.
It was. I'm trying to think, like, what other guests did we have?
I like
outside of our
the.
normal. I mean, anytime Luke hops on the show, it's good.
Yeah, I love Luke on the show. Love Jeff. How's his podcast been?
It's been a little quiet. He needs to kind of ramp it back up here heading into 2022.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
I think we all do on all
front
channel. Yeah, hit the showers, do fools agree. And I actually think that it would be beneficial not to do no post shit on the show, but I think it would be beneficial for us to do like a quarterly meeting.
Yeah. I'm down. I mean, we talked about doing that last year. Shit just kind of, COVID ramped back up. I had my drama, like.
With Jeff included, though, like a quarterly meeting as the channel, to.
Yeah. Well, and the question is, what's new for the Foolproof Entertainment Network in 2022?
Right. Yeah, right. We need to make. I know new shit to come on all fronts. But what I will say is, I get into, and this is a good thing for Do Fools Agree. Well, at least in my, I'm not saying I'm anybody, but I get into moods.
Yeah.
Where I prefer to listen to one over the other.
I'm with you. And
Do Fools Agree has been my number one for the past 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And it usually feels like the opposite because, sports. I want to, I want to listen from a listener's perspective, but I've been more geek to listen to the Do Fools Agree at work than the Hit the Showers, and that's odd to me.
It's probably the last 2 months because we came back with a vengeance coming out of our break.
I think we did,
and I also think that
we did.
I also think that us having like a mid-season break like that actually helped us.
Right.
Like I think it let us reset, and so I'm not going to. That year one, it was very important to both of us that we did it every week.
Right.
And
just to get used to it.
Right. To get used to it, to get the content out there. Like this year.
Let motherfuckers know you're serious.
Right. This year and heading into next year, like if we miss an episode a week here or there, it ain't going to kill us.
We already paid our dues.
Right.
We paid our dues. People know we're going to be around.
Right. And, the only thing I would do differently is I think during football season, I think we should do 1 to 2 episodes during that 8-week stretch.
Yeah, I
instead
agree.
Of getting into
calling it off for.
Yeah,
I agree. And I think that we should get back into looking for active guests.
Yes,
I feel like we've fallen off on that, and that's not to a bad thing, right? Because I do feel like we hold a lot of strong shows by ourselves.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I know.
But I like mixing that.
Motherfuckers just don't want to hear from us.
Right. I mean, they do, but, adding something in to change it up every once in a while.
Listen, it's because it ends up getting redundant, right? His stance, they're going to do their thing.
Well, and I think, too, that's where coming in with some sort of prepared topic, and you and I have talked about this over the 2 years of the show, having one thing that is not necessarily going to lend itself to our usual conversation. So whether that's mixing it up and, kind of like what we did with the 27 Club or what we did with the, honestly, I'll circle back to the question around favorite episodes.
I love that 27 Club episode.
I did too. The other one that I loved though was
it could have been better. If I had my notes, it would have been better.
Oh, I'm sure. But the neuroscience one, the galaxies and filing cabinets episode.
That was a great one too. Every now and then we have an episode where I'll be like, a little something, kid.
right.
Or at least you sound like you do. One of the two. Either you know something or you're good at faking it.
Well, I think the other side of this too is So the neuroscience and filing cabinets and galaxies one, along with getting into the conversation around frequencies, vibrations, all of that.
That was just a good episode. Yeah, you are right. That was a good episode.
So I think those ones, honestly, the top segment of the year though might be that beer conversation from 3 weeks ago.
It ain't been a while. It ain't been long enough to know.
I'm just saying. I got a lot of positive feedback on that episode.
That was a good. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to
Well, and that one in particular, like that segment came off an inadvertent thought. And so I've got to do a better job on that front. But
I'm trying to think of how to put out what I'm thinking. That's the thing, really, right? Allow me to toot my own horn, right? I'm really a motherfucking genius. Like Albert Einstein level genius over here.
Voice of a generation.
But you hear what I'm saying? The issue is communicating what is going on in my head.
I hear you.
And that's a translation, like literally a translation of languages. And I can't always get it out accurately the way I want.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking was, I think the Fool should do a segment, or maybe not even a segment, but like a once a month episode of tackling a topic.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And it doesn't have to be a specific topic. Like you said, that whole beer shit could have spun off to a lot of other things. And it did in my mind, but it didn't make sense to take it there.
Right. Well, and we had played the laughs, and it had gone well, and sometimes
right.
It's like, all right, let's cut it before we ruin that.
Now, if we are tackling a topic, so to speak, I mean, I feel like that 27th Club could have been a Fool's Tackle a topic, kind of what I'm getting at.
It kind of was.
But that's the idea I'm getting. I don't know if I can't really communicate it the way I'm seeing it, but
again, it comes back to like us having a little bit of preparation, because don't get me wrong, you and I can riff, and 9 times out of 10 we're going to be good. I think it takes it to another level when you and I both have a little preparation on a topic.
No, I agree.
So
I agree. And when you said tackling 2021, I started looking shit up, and then I was like, this is too much. I'm not about to do this.
So what do you
like? I was looking up like 2021 movies to see what I thought that, and I was like, nah, I'm not about to do all this.
No, I get it. Well, and I mean, from that perspective, like the shit that you're gonna come up with off the top of your head is gonna be the shit that you remember watching, right? Like WandaVision was good. That kind of kicked off the year. I liked all of the Marvel series that dropped this year. WandaVision, Loki, I think Falcon was last year, but the most recent one with Hawkeye, I could take or leave. But overall, and I mean from a movie standpoint, that was something I was flipping back through, and I'm like, oh shit, Mortal Kombat was this year, wasn't it?
Hell yeah, it was. That was an anticipated joint. I don't know if it lived up to my anticipation, but
I mean, you seemed to like it. I wasn't a big
I did
fan.
like it. I definitely liked it.
And Kong versus
But if
Godzilla,
I'm giving it mugs, I'd probably give it a 2.8.
Yeah. I'd be in kind of the same boat. I'd probably be closer to that 2 mark.
Yeah, I give it a 2.8. It's above half, but not much.
Yeah, so it's still in the good category for you.
Right. But it's not. No. I feel like, and the only reason why I say no is because you had it, right? Like we're in 2021. You had the opportunity for the visuals, the everything, and you did decent with the casting. Not the best, but decent. But the visuals along with it and the way it just seemed like you rushed through it.
I agree with you there. I think the story wasn't there. That was my biggest issue. Like,
yeah, I think so too.
I think a lot. Like from a visual perspective, like I agree that they rushed the fight scenes too, but they tried to cram a lot in there without giving much explanation. And I think Mortal Kombat at that point, or at this point in entertainment zeitgeist. That movie probably appealed to fans of the current games. It didn't bring back fans.
Right.
The
That's a
nostalgia
good way to
of it.
put it. That's a good way to put it.
And I mean, that's what I think a lot of places or a lot of shows are doing well right now is if you're going to incorporate those nostalgic elements, you got to deliver. And if you're going to try to reboot something, you've got to give that hook that brings that nostalgic element, even if it's not a major focal point.
Right.
Like
that brings back the us.
Right.
You got the them, you need the us.
Right.
The ones that made you big enough to want to make a movie.
Right. There's a reason why Mortal Kombat was one of the top games of the 90s.
Man. It almost, well, for me, for sure, it was a sneak to play it, right?
Right.
Because it was like one of those games your mom was like, don't be playing that crazy violent shit and all that, and you like, fuck that, I'm on my friend's house, it's Mortal Kombat time.
Or you had the parents to be like, turn off the blood setting, and as soon as they were out the door, back on.
Listen, what the fuck are you saying? This is what I play the game for.
Right.
Heads are rolling.
I want to see the damn fatality. I remember sitting there with like the cheat code list of like down, left, back, B block.
And then I don't remember what Mortal Kombat it was that gave you the practice mode where you could just do the shit on the dude that just stood there.
Yep.
I said, oh yeah, this is, I don't even need to play. I'm about to just go through these fatalities right fast.
That's the whole reason I got the game was to see the fatalities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if we talked about it or not. We probably didn't because I think I saw it again over the last 2 weeks. Ghostbusters Afterlife did a good job of like connecting back to enough nostalgic elements that it was.
I meant to ask you about that.
It was good. It was a little slow. Like the reason
was Uncle Bill in it?
He shows up at the end. Like all of them show up at the end. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them, even the one that died.
Who died?
Harold Ramis. Spangler. Like the story revolves around Spangler's family.
Who's Spangler? The one with the glasses?
The nerdy one.
Okay.
So
okay, that makes sense then, because he was always the Leonardo,
right, or the
Donatello, right. I was just today years old. No, I'm lying. That's probably last year when I realized that Leonardo was not the nerdy one.
Yeah, no, he's not. That's Donatello.
No, it's both of them.
Oh, it's both of them?
It's both of them for sure. I don't know if they tried to make it like Leonardo's supposed to be the leader. Didn't gather that as a child.
You think it was Raphael?
No, Raphael was a rogue.
So if Leonardo's not the leader, who is?
Leonardo seemed like the babysitter. He didn't seem like the leader to me.
Well, and honestly, in a lot of the movies and a lot of it, you're not wrong. Like
Leonardo wasn't ever the guy to get anything done. He was just the guy to keep the turtles in line.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a fair statement.
I actually think Donatello did more work than
absolutely.
Leonardo did, but you're the nerd.
The nerds are the backbone of the community.
I agree. That's a true statement. I agree with that. Fools agree on that. But yeah, no. Leonardo was the nerd in my book.
Yeah. Different kind of nerd, but I hear you. He was the
nerd's a nerd.
He was the goody two shoes of the group. He always
and then that's another thing I think you couldn't fool me as a child. I just always thought like, you got swords, motherfucker. Everybody else has. The only other person with deadly weapons is Raphael, and his weapons are close quarters.
Yeah.
You have 2 samurai swords, yet you don't kill anyone, and you get your ass whooped just as much as everybody else does.
That is a fallacy of the cartoons and the movies, is the decision that they wanted to keep it kid friendly. Like the comic books are a little more violent.
Oh, are they?
But that's never really translated to the screen. Like, they could reboot the Ninja Turtles and do it real dark based on the
Right.
material.
Really? I would. I mean, see the comic books.
Right. I'm trying to think.
Go
ahead. Sorry.
No. You ain't.
No, I was just gonna say, like, all right. So Ghostbusters Afterlife was solid. We did get Space Jam 2 this year.
Awful.
I could take or leave it. I don't know.
Mike's the GOAT. MJ's the GOAT.
At the end of the day, that movie is not made for us. It's made for kids. The same way the original Space Jam was. I thought for sure they'd manage to figure out a Michael Jordan cameo in that movie. I thought for sure.
You should have. I would have bet my life savings he didn't. Jordan isn't passing a torch.
No, you're right. You're right.
Jordan, I'm the fire forever. I'm not passing a torch. So Jordan's not coming out in a LeBron.
And LeBron is not about to let him be the savior either. So similarly, LeBron.
Oh, I see what you were saying though. I see what you were getting at.
He could have shown up and like maybe
LeBron don't got Jordan's number in real life. Don't make you think he had it in the Tooniverse. The fuck? Jordan ain't picking up for LeBron. No. Jordan, listen. Jordan picking up for LeVar Ball faster than he picking up the phone for LeBron James.
That's fair. Was Last Dance this year too? Or was that tail end of last year?
No, that was this year. That was that was this year. That was a good pickup. I almost took it to Hit the Showers for a second.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I almost took us there because it's been a lot of bullshit going on behind not Jordan. Jordan doesn't have anything to do with it. But remember, we even talked about it on this podcast, the shit with China.
Yeah.
With LiAngelo when he took the glasses and Trump had to get him back from China.
Yeah.
And they're saying that now they think that that's a conspiracy as to why he's not in the league. He's in the G League currently, averaging a 53% 3-point shot. He makes more than 50% of his threes, and nobody will bring him up to the NBA level. And they said they think it's because of China. They think China is going to say, we'll boycott whatever team
he's on
that you put him on. We won't play their games here and you'll lose your revenue. So I thought the best route would be put him on a Cleveland. Nobody gives a fuck about China in Cleveland.
Just went him on the Cavs.
And nobody gives a fuck about Cleveland in China. You know what I mean? Without a LeBron James, Cleveland means nothing to China.
That's true.
And China means nothing to Cleveland. So bring him on its squad where it's a no harm, no foul.
Right.
I would love to have him in Cleveland.
I would
love to have him in Cleveland.
I'm sure you would.
He real talk. That's the last I'm gonna say about him. But he's an amazing player. He really is. Yeah. And I feel like it's clearly something that's stopping him from being in the league. And if it's not that, what I've always said on Hit the Showers is they don't want LeVar Ball to have that much power. You got 3 kids in the league that all do things differently.
Yeah.
Sign their own shoe deals and you don't want that.
No.
That changes the game. So either way, he got a lot against him. Tough.
That is tough.
That's a tough situation to be in. But with that being said, like you said, sports came back. That's one thing I will say in 2021 that has gotten a lot of people through it all.
Yeah. Well,
sports.
Yeah. I mean,
if there wasn't sports and we were still in this year,
right,
that might be what made 2020 feel so slow.
Because you didn't have that kind of week to week.
You didn't have no entertainment.
Yeah. Well, and you're finally gonna see, I think, in the 2022 kind of the dump of entertainment. You're already starting to see it now.
Listen, and beyond that, right? I think we're gonna see either a pause or the bubble come back to all sports.
You think?
I do.
Because there's been so many as of late with
so many COVID protocol outages that it's coming to the point of either you put them back in the bubble or think about if it should still be an 82 game season.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, you can do that
as far as basketball.
Yeah, you can do that with some sports. We've kind of proven you can't do it with like football and baseball.
Well, football doesn't matter, right? Because you're already on the ass end of your season.
You're cutting half.
So we don't need to put y'all in a bubble. It's just about the strongest survive.
Right.
Whoever has the least people on COVID protocol wins the Super Bowl.
Right.
But when it comes to basketball,
that's why the Bills are going to win.
You know what? They're my favorite at the moment. They are my favorite at the moment.
They were not after the Patriots game, followed by the Tampa Bay game, but they seem to have turned it back around and they handled New England.
Wait, you mean that first Patriots Bills game? Well, remember I told you that game. I said I'm going with the Patriots, but I think the Bills beat them in the 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
right, and they proved true.
Yep. Now we'll see. I'm
I do think the Bills have a great chance of winning it this year, at least coming out of the AFC.
My problem is with them is that I don't know.
I don't think the Chiefs beat the Bills.
As much as I would like to say I want to see all the playoff games in Buffalo, I don't. The Bills don't play well in their own fucking city.
See, I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't know enough. I guess I do, but I don't. I didn't track that enough.
They don't have a strong run game, and if you can't run the ball,
it's stronger than you say. Listen, I understand being a fan and being hard on your team, right? But you were very hard on that tight end position. Dawson Knox has been coming through for y'all.
He is.
First of all, Singletary, as much as you talk shit about him,
Moss
has been. Listen, I've said I agree, but Singletary has been showing why he should still be in that. They haven't even been playing Moss like that.
No, they haven't. They were playing.
It was a different dude. Yeah, and then Singletary came back. Unless Moss was hurt, I guess, and that would make sense. But
I think he was. But honestly, like I haven't followed it enough.
Either way, what I'm saying is the weak points that you complained about at the beginning of the season,
Dawson Knox
turned out not to be as weak as you made it out to be.
Dawson Knox started off the season hot. I agree.
He's finishing it hot too.
He's starting to, and that's why
he's getting back.
That's why my hope is climbing. I'm still not sold on the fact that we can run the ball effectively, but some of that's play calling too.
I think it's a lot more play calling than it is the ability that y'all have at running back.
Well, and on top of that, we got the best back in the league. His name's Josh Allen.
I said I've never seen a quarterback stiff arm before until Josh Allen. And he does it all the time.
He does.
Like,
he has no
don't
problem
touch me. Hold up. No, not even. Like, he'll be rolling in the backfield, like looking for his pass, and a D end will come out and he'll stiff arm him and hold him off just to throw the ball. And it's like, how not the dick ride, but how strong are you that you can stiff arm a D end enough to stop them
and then throw the ball back across your body to the middle of the field?
What the fuck is that about? What is that about?
That is my biggest gripe with Madden 22, by the way, is that Josh Allen gets hurt like every other time you run him in the fucking game. I'm like, this is bullshit.
I don't even think I've ever played someone that played
Josh Allen.
Buffalo.
Can hurdle motherfuckers.
Right. He's amazing. He is. He's amazing. I can't say nothing bad about him. He has a good arm. He's durable. He's big.
Yeah,
he's amazing. He's amazing.
Second coming.
Yeah, I can't shit. Whether he said nigger or not, he's amazing. Yeah. That's an amazing quarterback.
Allegedly.
Ain't no alleged.
I mean, he did go to school in Wyoming.
Right. Ain't no, he went to school where?
Wyoming.
Listen, ain't no alleged. I don't care if you was black in Wyoming. I know you said the hard ER, motherfucker.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think what else. What else dropped in 21? I mean, were there any games? Like, I feel like there really weren't.
No. Ain't been really like, you know, your regulars, like shit that comes out every year,
right.
But nothing
new.
Exceptional has come out on the gaming front.
I mean, Cyberpunk had an opportunity to, but it fell
I heard
apart.
bad things about that.
Yeah, it crashed. Like, you couldn't play it on the old gen, and the next gen is not at fucking critical mass because you can't buy the fucking things. Dude, I've looked for an Xbox, and I won't get the Series S. I'm like, no, if I'm gonna get something, it's
we're in the same boat.
Series X.
Yeah, it has to be the biggest, the best one. And no, my whole thing is they got them now, but
do they?
You want to?
I looked for them for the last 2 months, but I can find them from bootleggers that are gonna ask $1,000 for them, and I'm like,
no. You can find them in stores now. Ask me how much they cost, though.
How much do they cost?
$1,000.
Yeah, no, fuck that noise. I'm not
$1,000. You can find them in stores, but they're $1,000 at the moment. I'm not paying. So you double your markup. Right. Came out at 500, and you double it to 1,000. And you think I'm a. Now motherfuckers are apparently buying it. Ask me who. Malcolm fucking King, you weirdo.
Wait, he got an Xbox?
No, he got the PlayStation.
PS5.
You know he's scary. He's too scary to get back on the Xbox. But when it's people like you spending $1,000 on a game, they don't drop the price for another 4 months.
Right, no doubt. Well, and what they're trying to do, have you seen this? At least Xbox is doing it. I assume PlayStation is doing something similar. But where they're like, pay $30 a month for 24 months, and we'll give you.
Oh, that's what he did.
Yeah,
that's what he did. He did the 12-month joint.
Gotcha.
So what, 50 a month for 12 months or something like that. Either way, it don't matter if you give me a deal, a breakdown. If it's $1,000, you can suck my cyber dick. I'm not paying for it.
I hear you. I'm with you.
It's just not happening. I'm just not doing it.
Although I will say, what I am considering, and it's not an Xbox Series X, it's not a PS5, at least not $1,000 price.
He's about to get a computer.
And why?
D&D.
No. Oculus Series, or the Oculus Rift, or the HTC Vive, or
no, I didn't know that.
Something that can run like a VR system for a computer. Because the Quest, while I like it and it's a cool novelty, it doesn't have the games.
Right.
Now, I will say there are a couple games we haven't played that I might try to rope you into, although your motion thing wouldn't work in like one or two of them. So
on what? What games?
This Echo game, man. It is like,
I gotta see.
It's kind of like, the only thing I can explain, like the graphics are kind of Tron-like.
Right.
And the goal is, I mean, it's basically like almost, it's zero-G Ultimate Frisbee is the only way I can describe it. Like,
do you play against people or
you can play against AI or against people. And like, you've got to throw this disc through like this octagonal goal. And like,
I don't even know what an octagonal goal is. Like 8-sided?
An octagon, yeah. You've got to throw this Frisbee through an octagon. And like, you fly around because it's all zero-G. And like, you can come up behind people and punch them in the head and they drop the Frisbee.
That might be my job or my speed.
You might have to check it out and then get back to me, because that's
you
one
said
where
it's
like
Echo what?
It's called Echo VR.
Echo VR. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. and I was intrigued by it. And I also found a like spaceship shooter, which I think I had talked about. Like that was something I wanted to try.
Uh-huh.
Even I got a little motion sick with that one.
Yeah, some of them joints ain't no joke, man.
Yeah, no, that was a little rough.
And you know me, I like to smoke and do all my
Right.
goods while I play, and that throws me off.
Yeah. Although we did log probably a good 90 minutes, 2 hours on the zombie game.
Oh yeah, I do. Listen, that Arizona Sunshine, that's the one that my dad got me hip to. So
Yeah.
of course I had to stay on there with him for days on end.
Well, I'm glad I had you too, because I don't know that I would have been able to piece together, oh, we got to do this next, and we got to do this next, and we got to do this.
Listen, I was playing it. I played the whole game myself.
Yeah.
Because of course, like my dad made me play with him, but it wasn't like it wasn't quick enough, you know, like moving with someone else just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing it on my own to try to, and that's how I got good at it. Now, when you get into the survival,
like the horde mode or whatever.
Yeah, that's when it gets. Now that's when it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun playing the actual campaign, but the horde, you get in a horde with a good team, yeah, that's good shit. That's good shit.
So
the VR is just fun because it just tricks your reality.
It does, and I think 2022 may be the year that it finally hits critical mass, because I think the price point for building those kind of things will continue to drop.
Right.
Now, the question is,
should continue to drop. It's a lot of price points. Groceries should continue to drop, but they're not. And you know what? That's what's funny, right? Is because, and I'm sorry to just
go for it.
the jack your. I saw. I'm gonna be respectful.
Okay.
I saw our First Lady Kamala Harris, not our First Lady, our Vice President Kamala Harris, say that she has done so much, or that they have done so much good with the this is her specific, with the child tax credits and the she didn't add this. I hope she didn't add the stimulus in there, but regardless, is what she said is that they have done good by giving those things, right?
Yeah.
But they completely lack to acknowledge the fact that everything has gone up. Everything, groceries, gas, everything has gone up. To where that tax credit was more of a burden than a help.
Right.
All you did was make people have to pay more back at the end of the year when they didn't have enough to get them through the year.
Right.
And it's like, when you say shit like we've done good, it's like, bitch, you and that old motherfucker can die. And I don't mean that like me taking them out. I'm just saying y'all both can get the fuck out the way. Like, go somewhere. Like, y'all don't mean anything.
No. I mean, the quote unquote liberal agenda has stalled under the current president and the current Congress. And
they make me want to vote right.
I mean,
I want to start voting right. And I don't even got right money. I'm about to start voting right.
Well, that's the thing with the right, is you don't actually have to have the money. You just have to be okay with that.
Listen, this shit's crazy. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, and I said that, if you remember, since we talking about recapping, I said that this year, if the Democrats win, they're going to turn a lot of people off from being Democrats.
I don't argue with you on that state, from the standpoint,
and that's what they're doing.
This is not contrary to what, the right tried to claim around this being, the leftist agenda coming in and making sweeping. No, it was a centrist agenda that didn't change a fucking thing. So
Man,
you're gonna see the same snapback from the right. The problem is you might see it from both sides, and you're gonna end up with just two polarizing candidates that neither
right,
one will be necessarily good for this
good,
country.
right,
But
right.
that's what we wanted, though.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted that centrist candidate with Joe. That's what we got.
They ain't want Sanders and they ain't want Yang.
Right.
So sleep in
Yang,
it.
I think, has straight up like become an independent now.
Yeah, Yang's not about that action no more.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens when.
He's not about that action. He's not coming back next year.
No, you don't think so?
No, wait.
Well,
The year after next.
Campaigning would probably start next year.
Yeah, right. But it would be the year after next.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yang's not about that life.
No, I'm kind of with you.
We thought he was. He's not. Unless he gets some more Asians in the Silicon Valley area backing him. He's not about that life.
All right, so two other movies that haven't come up. Dune.
Love Dune.
Dune, I think has the potential to be, but it all depends on whether or not the second movie delivers.
And well, that's the question.
Because
but it also could be a second movie like The Witcher.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that the first did a good job for people like me to understand what was really going on.
Well, and that goes back to the comment I made, I think, during the review. Like, that movie would have benefited so much from doing like a 5 or 10 minute exposition dump at the start of the movie.
Right.
And like the same
kind of like how Star Trek kind of does.
Or the one that comes to mind for me is Lord of the Rings. Like, you spend that first
right.
5 minutes of the movie with Lady Galadriel saying there were 9 rings given to the kingdoms of men. There were 3 given to the elves, whatever the thing is. And there was 1. Like, they did not do a good job of explaining all that kind of world building. But
yeah, especially when it's fan, I guess you could say. I wouldn't call myself a fan. I am a fan, but
you're not,
especially when it's people like me, like that don't know. I don't know the shit like that.
You're probably not going to read the 800-page Dune book.
Nigga, I ain't read the 800-page Bible. I damn sure ain't reading the 800-page Dune book. That's a fact, Joe.
My point. That was.
But I feel like I don't know how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I was about to say. Oh, we were talking about Dune. Yep, still don't know how I feel.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, that movie doesn't land by itself. Now, if part 2 and if they make it a trilogy, which is what I think they should do.
Oh, right. That's where I was getting at.
It will make it better.
Right.
As long as
that's what I was getting at. Deliver. So if same with the Matrix, same with the Witcher.
Yeah.
You can sacrifice action for me if you give me realization.
Yep.
If I realize your angle at this, I don't need the action. I just need the
story.
Connections of the story.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot of, like, now, like I said, since we're in this idiocracy stage, it's not a lot of things that are being created to make you think why it happened. It's all just action or just this.
Yep. No, completely.
And that's where you lose me.
No, I'm with you there. And then the other one that popped for me,
but I'm excited for the second one to come out. But go ahead.
No, me too. And the other movie that popped for me this year, and some of this is just having a kid, but Raya and the Last Dragon was pretty solid.
I don't know that.
That's the Disney Pixar joint. Asian
Where is it
female
on? It's on.
lead.
What's it on Netflix or what? Is it
Disney
on something?
Plus. Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Oh yeah, no, I ain't seen that yet. You seen that Archon
No.
on Netflix?
Uh-uh.
Think it's called Archon.
Is it Arcane?
It might be
I
Arcane.
think it's Arcane. Is that the anime?
Yeah, it's like a 3D joint,
Okay.
but it's very interesting, and it's the same. It's the same. Look at me tying shit back, right? It's the same vibe as that new Matrix movie.
Okay.
Which is why I said before in this episode, I said I was shocked that they would put something like that out. I just never gave my idea behind why I said that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I said that is because, like I said it before, we are in the have and have nots era of life.
Yep.
And that's what the Matrix and the Archon or Kane is explaining. There are lessers that need more,
Right.
not want more, but need more. And if you don't provide them with their needs, they're going to eventually take more from the people that aren't giving it.
Yeah.
And that was Matrix. The whole motto, the whole motive of Matrix was wake up.
Right.
Was wake up. And that's what people have been saying about the government for years, which is why I was like, you just gonna let them play a movie like that? Like, I almost felt like China, like, you should stop this. You shouldn't allow people to watch this because this is gonna make them rise up against you. And it's the same with that Arcane movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
The not to spoil for anybody that's watching it.
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a series.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but it's an upper class, lower class dynamic.
Yeah.
And the lower class is constantly stealing and sabotaging the upper class, and the upper class is constantly asking themselves why the lower class is doing this. And it's like, nobody's being fed. Like,
right.
It's the same thing going on now. You're not feeding anyone.
Right. And when the wealthiest country in the world can't feed its own people and keep its own people,
then it's time. I mean, let's be honest. Then it's time for war.
Right. I mean, honestly, that's kind of the same. I mean, that's a common storytelling thing, right? That's also the background of the video game I was talking about, that Tales of Arise. Like,
really,
the Arise is basically rebellion against whatever powers that be. Is kind of.
Listen, we're gonna be here closer than people like to think we will.
Yeah.
And the truth is, we already know motherfuckers don't care about us, right?
Right.
So now it's up to you what you plan on doing from then on.
Yeah.
Because listen, I don't expect for the government to care about me, right? Like, I don't expect you to care about my situation. You said they do?
I said white folks expect the government to care about them.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, y'all, I thought you said y'all care about me. I was about to say, give me a, what's it called? Not a Cash App. I need paying give me a little couple of dollars from you then, if you care. But yeah, nah. Like I said before, we recapping 2021. Fuck recapping. Let's talk about where the future's at. And the future is haves and have-nots. Within 2025, we're gonna have a war.
Some sort of uprising. I don't disagree.
I bet my life on it. By 2025, there's an issue, haves and have-nots. because right now it's
But
this.
makes it sound like there isn't already an issue.
No. Right, no. But right now, this
That's
is
the
the
tipping
awakening.
point. That's
This
the
is
boiling
this
point.
is the have-nots understanding. Like, wait, they just don't give a fuck, and they're not gonna give a fuck.
I mean, I think there's some truth to that, but I think the other side of that is the other.
You know what the
message
truth is to that is the fact that the only have-nots that will ever let us know it's time for war are the ones that look like you.
True.
Because once the ones that look like you become have-nots, they like, hold up. We didn't plan for this.
Right.
Now wartime, right?
Yeah.
But the bottom line is it's a lot more have-nots than there are haves.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that.
So if motherfuckers was just communicating as a whole, like I said, if y'all Buffalo Bills fans were smart, y'all would have included the Falcons fans and the Raiders fans and the Brown, all them would have been involved. But that's y'all chose not to, and now we making a joke about it.
Right.
But in all actuality, I don't know if that wasn't the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do.
Well, no, I mean, at the end of the day, hoping it to be a wake-up call of something, right?
But it's clearly not for the government, right?
Right.
Like the government clearly still doesn't give a fuck. So at this point, what are you still?
Right.
How much tuna fish do you have in your cupboard?
Well, and that goes back to, I think we even talked about it in the book in terms of a late stage capitalistic democracy. Like something will have to change before 2030.
And listen, if the aliens are expecting to fuck us and give us corona, you better not line with the wrong side of history.
Right.
Is all I'm saying.
Well, no, they want to control the have-nots too, because as we've discussed, the only reason aliens want to come here is for the resources, right?
We gonna introduce y'all to resources too. We got Plan B. Right, all y'all bastard kids that y'all had out there, and now y'all looking for a new place to colonize. We got Plan B, so we can help y'all out in the long term. If y'all don't want these bastard ass kids, at least we got Plan B. Y'all have light speed, we have Plan B. We're equal in this. So let's both sit down and have a meeting and see what we can do for each other.
This is the black delegation.
Listen.
We have different ideas than the white delegation.
Listen. Because I'm getting corona. I'm just not getting it from y'all half-breathing motherfuckers. I'm getting it sexually transmitted from the aliens.
Direct from the source. Oh, man. Well, here's the deal. It's about 11:15.
Is it?
Yep. So we're at our normal time. What do you want to do? You want to call
What
it?
you want to
Keep
do?
going.
It is 11:13.
I can go either way.
I can too. Let's call it.
You want to call it? All right. That'll work.
Let's call it.
Any resolutions to take us out, Mr. Jennings?
I have no resolutions. I think that if I'm being honest, I think that's the issue with us.
Yeah. How so?
Us as a whole, as a person, as a humanity, I think we always try to come up with resolutions to end something, when in all actuality, we should accept the fact that it's there and get over it. Keep pushing. Because we're never going to be able to end something. We can't end it.
Pause. You're killing my resolution, because my resolution is to end my marriage and finalize the divorce.
Well, see, and and it will never happen.
It will never happen? Oh, shit.
You'll end your marriage. You'll end that. But you'll always have that relationship between
absolutely.
mother and father and son.
Absolutely.
That's the issue.
I don't disagree with you on that at all.
No, I agree. You should end your marriage because that's what the legislation says you should do, right? But legislation doesn't operate my life. Whether I write my name on a piece of paper doesn't mean I'm married or divorced.
I hear you. That's a fair statement.
I don't operate under that.
I hear you.
Which is why I'm lonely as we speak. You hear what I'm saying? But that's the truth. I don't need y'all to tell me I'm married.
Right.
Me and my right hand have a firm relationship. Firm, I said it's firm. I'm just playing. Kinda.
Kinda. All right, man. Well, with all that, I'd like to be the first to wish you a happy new year.
I would like to be the second. Oh no, that would still be your first. I'll be your first. I'll break your happy new year virginity.
I appreciate it. Just be gentle. And with that, we love you fools.
I love
Peace
you.
out. Happy New Year.
Love you too, bro. Be safe. We taking over.
Yeah, we are. Foolproof Entertainment Network. Next step, 2022. Let's get it going.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Oh, damn. How'd we almost forget?
All that, motherfuckers. Fools took you out of the new year. Hit the showers to take you into it.
There you go. There you go. Catch Hit the Showers tomorrow night. Peace out, fools.